Hi, chúng ta working a lot. Can you guys hear me? Um, hopefully everything's alright. Oh, it's breaking up. Okay, good. Okay. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. Beam, tap. And the former type main issue. That's really good. And that, so I've got some more Amiga games to play. I've just finished installing a bunch of games. I haven't actually hit the demo yet. So I'm looking forward to doing that with you guys. Yeah, I don't think that would be it. Don't know all the games from a bit working, I don't know. So hopefully not. Hi there, that man. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow, David, everything. Welcome in. I was just saying that I'm going to be playing some Amiga game soon. Like I say, I've just spent like a couple of days installing the more game so that hopefully I'll have some fun games to play. And so hopefully I'm loud enough. I don't really know. It's very hard for me to tell how loud my voice is. Oh, I forgot to put the music on. Okay. Let's see. Work a bit bigger now. Thank you so much, man. That was that. I played that on today. I had some other games. Yeah. I played some fun games last stream, but this time I've got some other ones. I've got not new platformers and other types of games. I mean, platformers are my favorite genre, so I tend to get mostly platformers. I could have to shoot them up, and so I could have a new shoot them up to play, so that'll be fun to play. I don't know. I'm afraid going to shoot them up, so go easy on me. Yeah. I'm feeling a little nervous now, so if I'm talking a little bit funny, that's why. I'm be thinking that they actually think it's going to take. And hello to 3D Code Boy. And oh, hello there, Pop. And I'm kind of hard for me to say. Are there my new 87? Are they thinking better? If they're going to hit? Hi, Lata. Oh, the bird not. And can't stay long. But you wanted to drop by and stay hard. I'm glad you did. Huh. A lot of NPCs won't be coming home to their NPC family tonight once we get play. Yeah. And yeah. Something about yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm only gonna be blank, sometimes I get nervous. 네. And I not. Hi there, Shubai. Welcome in. I'm just going to be playing the Amiga game soon. How are you going? I hope everyone's having a good week. And hopefully the mood is not too loud. I'm going very thinking. I'm having a good week so far. The meeting should be I think about my last time tôi shouldn't been to my voice should still be loud and I hope over the meeting. If I've been dreaming long, I started dreaming in October, I think last year. I did go one dream before that, but I think it really can't. Today I've been dreaming pretty much in October, but I still get nervous every time I start dreaming. I thought that nervous feeling would go away, but it's still there and still gonna have to let go of. Hi there, deep dish green tea. Welcome in. Hope you're having a good time. Thank you so much, man. I'm so glad. Yeah, I mean, so good in garden here. I could really need to support. Yeah, and deep dish green tea and cool on. And I thought I love green tea. Delicious. I like green tea more when mixed with nomination shot. It is very big. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a getting cold here in Tasmania. It's been getting cold for a few months, but it's been tolerable up until now, and now it's starting to get, like a shoe cold. I mean, yeah, it was at a long summer. Hi there, Kongsha. Welcome in. Yeah, it's been getting cold here last time. It's like below 5 degrees Celsius at night here. So I ended up being like freezing by night time. But during the day it's not so bad, which is another reason why I'm dreaming that. So it's nice and warm, but then that and everything. Oh, hi there, Maiden. Paladin. Yeah, because one degree. Negative 1 degree. Oh, okay, now that is cold. Yeah, it's going to be negative here a couple of times. Not yet. Probably next month. We'll probably start getting about that cold. Yeah. Now, hopefully the light won't be too bright. Because earlier the sun wasn't actually glinty. There was still lots of cloud cover. But now, it seems that the sun really shining. But I don't know. I think it's okay for now anyway, so I'm going to drinking my time. Hoping not want to be at them that cold. And cold not that in my own heart sometimes. They not that I should think. Recommend. Hoping that the tongue fading to be alright. Yeah, the like I say, I've got a new game to try out, and I'm looking forward to playing them. Some of them I've played before, some of them I haven't, so it'll be fun. I'll go over here now. Look. I'm not sure what it's that, but that's why I remember now. I'm gonna start with this game. Okay, so the game, I don't know how to pronounce it, it's a bit hard to pronounce. It's called, Mirror Revenge. And I'm not really sure how much of this game is finishable, but let's just have a look at things like that. Yeah, I do it in a taco finish. It's beautiful, yeah. Okay. There you go. Another carrot that we got it really cool ability. You could do build that new end. Oh, and I forgot to turn up the meeting bit. Okay. There you go. Oh, I close it. I really want to get that last bit. I want to get hurt by an enemy. I try to get it now. Nej, vänta. Nej, Castlevania Maria. Castlevania Maria. Oh no. They're not coming. Oh, let's try again. Oh, I didn't get that in time. I didn't get that in time again. I've been thinking on. No, I'll try it again. Oh, oh, the range is back. Oh, I'm gonna be very patient. Yeah. Oh, okay. He's a really cool looking character. I love her outfit and everything. Bây giờ go get that first. Oh, okay. I should. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, that's freaking. Oh, not very usual. No, I'm not. Let's try again. Okay. Patient and wait. Hi there, thank you so much for the follow. Pagan, no, what? Thank you. That's a nice card day. Thank you for dropping in. Oh, but give me that one. Okay. And hooray. Qua ba lô xuyên lo và bếp. Next for heart. Oh, close. I picked up something. I wonder what that does. That's enough. I lost the graphics and everything. I'm picking. Yeah, I've been fun with the cock attack. I would love that. Close. Oh no. Get that. Oh man. I'm still going to find that. That's fun. I like this game. Oh dear. Oh. Okay. Okay. Oh gosh, I ran into the rat. Oh, I've got the terrible timing. Oh, close the game. Now, he comes. The bad thing about the attack is to go away for the birds and actually hit the character. And they come, I should. Okay. Okay. Hi there, they're breaking. Oh no, bro. I don't want that thing, I want to go about that one. Let me try again. Close enough. Really, you got to be patient. Ah. I mean, not a lot of time has been run, and I don't think I could go out. Then, yeah. Oh, the rat! Oh! Oh gosh. Okay, this time I get rid of the rat first. No, no problem. Thank you. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Try again. Yeah. It's hard, but it's my fault because I'm a very patient, and I'll keep getting in the bad of the rat thing and nothing in me. So I'm gonna try again, and hopefully do a bit better. Oh no. Yeah. Should be about that, do it. Okay. Ooh. Nah. It's way more function that run around. Oh, the rat thing there. Yep. Oh. Even pinta ba running at the everything you Tom. Right there, in this game you can't really you gotta wait for the enemy to throw the bird at the right time. Oh, that was very close. Come on, maybe. Okay. That was very close. When my happiness throw that up. Get the turn it off that. I didn't activate. And the last of then everything is big back in. Finally. Now I can pick this thing up and hopefully, oh, you the cat. That was so adorable. Yeah. Yeah. Ama the most fun though, the most. Everything. Oh, I forgot about it again. Every time. Right. Oh, and that time I fell into the pit. Yeah, gosh, it gave me harder than it. Hi there, Tiny Rebellion. The game is Maria, Revenge. I should probably actually change the name of the game, make it easy. Let's just. Oh no. Yeah. Nah. Moving. And I should make it a lot easier. Yeah, the first time I fell in love. Like the Castlevania game. I love it because finally I get to play a movie and I think it's great. You sure? I think it's great. Ah, come on. So good. Come on, Nick. Oh, I don't know if it makes it happen. Meeting it. Waiting for it. Come on. Oh. I guess not. I will be too patient. Oh, the rat came back. Oh boy. Oh gosh. Okay. Dang it, I thought I got it that time. Okay. No. I keep getting the timer wrong. I could kind of need the extra heart though. I'm gonna go for it. Oh, finally. Thank you. Oh, I got it this time. Woohoo. Hooray, I got the cat. Nice, so cool, I love that. Just throw the cat at them. Ah, it's only limited time, okay. Ooh. Made it. Oh, good. Yeah. Oh, wow, a dragon. Okay, and a dragon. I don't know how many. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Oh, at least that dog over here. Okay, that's good. Oh no, I finished it. I think I had enough time to jump over. I guess not. And I got further that time. Thinking. Oh, I didn't. Yeah, oh. Okay. When we should get rid of that bit, yep. I think I'll wait for it. Oh, no, gosh, oh, okay. That's why I can't wait for it. It went to, oh, okay. Ooh. I think I'm feeling that little post right in front of it though. Yeah. No problem. Thank you for hanging out. Have a good night. Oh gosh. Pretty sure I make it this time. A little bit. No, I don't have any cat. But when you the ability that I get, it yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for the right watching it. Oh, welcome in. I'm just playing a game called Amiga Revenge for the Amiga. Welcome in. Thank you so much for waiting. And now I've got the cat bleeding. I should do a bunch of cat than everybody. Oh no, bleeding. No. Oh, I just rather fun again. You have a good dream. Oh gosh. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, what's here? I'm busy gonna wrap boot. Oh, amazing. Gosh. Okay. You know it coming. I know how I should throw the cat to hit. Oh, that was nothing. Okay, here comes the bot. No, no. Oh, they're close. Bam it. Now I can go to. Yeah. Oh, so close. Oh, very lucky then. Ooh, can I make it across? Oh, no. Bummer. Not much. It's fun to play a game. I'm going over so far. Took me a little while to get this far. Did you have a good dream? What game did you play? Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm harsh and understand. I'm still working on my speech. I feel like the bird gonna come out. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love this game. I mean, it's got a really cool main character that get to play with it. Michelle. And oh, Papa shoot that. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, okay, that's good. Good game to play. Mm. Oh, no. No, you got to tell me around it. I'm going there, thank you. Oh, good night. Yeah, finish. Okay, this time yeah, the game is tough. I mean, go, but oh gosh, it's tough. Oh, so hard. The bird gonna be in the not right place. Oh, now it's actually shooting at me. No, I wasn't going up before. Oh, thank you. I'm not sure if you're calling it a base ravine. I think it's more of a platformer. to the platform with the main character from one of the characters from Castlevania. Oh, thank you so much for the ride for the Stardust. Oh, welcome in. How's it going? Oh no, I keep forgetting about it. Have I got it? Oh, close. Okay, game thing good. Not sure what's coming it. Oh, that was close. Jump and then fall like a leap of faith. But oh gosh, never mind. Oh, you should tiny wagon. I dig it. I'm up to never show. I do them. The play community for what when you play. I love a look of it, never show. Then don't take in vain. I could. Oh, no worries. Thank you for writing and thank you so much for dropping by. Okay. Oh, you're good, well, yeah, good. I'm glad. Thank you so much for the follow, making a machine. Oh, I got the cat again. Thank you, God. Oh, really hurt. Oh no. Oh. Maybe it's probably throwing the cat in. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Think about it. I'm not sure how that one turned out. Oh. Oh, tricky. Oh. And you know the bat is gonna be there. Yeah. I like I should. It's gonna make sure ahead the cat's barring up the hair to actually come. Hooray. That was the top one. We're going to fly enemy and then there's just a cat on the ground though. Maybe tough one. Oh, no problem. Take care, Maiden Paladin. That's a good game though. I do like to play the game. I'll get through it a lot quicker, I hope. Come on. I'm going to bed. Thinking. Yeah. Okay. I got that one. Got it, that's my perfect. No. No. I shot in that time. How many times can I throw at a time? Throw them all. Oh, but they've been losing the lava. Oh, big cat. Ooh. Oh, close. Yeah, look at the funny game. Who called it that? It was made with door nation. Oh, oh, it's so hard to get the timing right on that one. Dinner later, deep dish wing hey. Thank you so much for dropping by. Okay, I think I'm good. Oh no, I thought I forgot. Oh. Maybe I'm glad I can hear not all the way to the start. Okay. You should close. Bây giờ là mày đi qua con. Oh, she's getting smaller, smaller, come on. I think this time I'll try and grab an extra anything. Thank you so much. Something happening. Thank you so much for the ride. Doctor, see it. I hope that's right. And thank you so much for the follow. Dragon, see it. Thank you. Han. Thank you. In Peter. What about one that? And welcome in. No problem. Thank you so much for riding. Just playing an Amiga game called Myriad Vinard Revenge. And so far I have made it to level 2, finally. So now I can see what it never looked at. Oh. And now I get the cat. Ooh. Oh, that bird gonna be difficult. I better waiting it. Oh. Gosh. I'm gonna try again. I think a game that was particularly made in Nation. I'm not sure exactly when, a couple of years ago. Yeah, so you play a Myriad And it you can like a cartoon playing game. I may jump over the cat this time. Oh, he's back. Give me. Thank you so much for the follow, the MP83. I'm sorry if I'm slow. Thank you so much for the follow. Apple avocado. That's like an interesting combination. Oh no, it's so hard to get that. Look about. I may just jump over and go back here. Pick up the cat ability and use it again. Oh! It looks like that should do after me so much quicker than I expected. Oh. Oh. I'm actually taking. I did the bat burning the spot. That's okay. Think we could. Come on, cat. Maybe be safe versus far going with that platform. I'm gonna need you anyway. Then you can get that key. I got that. Oh gosh. Okay. Oh, so close again. Thing. Oh dear. I don't know how to get over there. But my. I'm going to do. I'm up in a good day spot to me. Oh no, maybe not. I'm gonna take a quick break, but I need to find a really safe spot. Nope. I thought I make a just jumped over it. I'm just gonna take a quick break. Oh yeah. I think I muted it. I thought I muted. No, it's working now. Hi there, Retro Gaming Muting. Welcome in. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Martin. Done. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Pilot doing. Thank you. Here we go again. Yeah, at the tag all over again. And then a bit of a shame. Oh, man. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, I think I made it. Ooh. Oh, door closed. Ah. I'll be a bit bad for the cat. I'm not sorry, but. Oh. There you go. Ah. Don't want that to relief when I get it. Oh. Maybe. I can't seem to get the timing right. Nah. Yeah, another cashew. I wish I had been that a bit longer. I think I'm really thinking because the block don't actually appear into our jump. So it's just a leap of faith that I'm gonna go every time. Oh. Oh. It's a bit. Oh. And I'm guessing never soon. But quicker this time. They're not sure whether I should pick up the cat. I think I will pick up. I should. No. Yeah, I'm bleeding. I'll wait for her ability to run out and get the bit. Yeah. Oh, no, don't. Let me just try it again. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Night Ray, Devon. Managed to get it that time. Good. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw them. I need that key. Alright. Ooh, another flashing the window there, that looks good. Probably basically should throw the... that was nothing. Oh, they're very close. I'm not really sure how to do it. I think I'll make my share. Maybe if I go back a bit. No. How am I gonna cross it? I love that the gate's now shut it. Come on. Oh, flipped it. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Moonbeam Swift. Oh gosh. This bat is so annoying today. I made it. I'm making it difficult to cross it. I think the further down you've got long cut in the further down. I don't really know how to do that one. I have to be tricky. It's really tricky. Yeah, I might have to never shoot or something. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do though. It's hard. Am I supposed to jump on them and then just keep walking? I'm gonna have to keep trying. But I might need to have a refill in my tea, so I'll be right back. I'm back. Thank you very much. Martin, I had a Bible meeting. So she didn't show it. I'm gonna give the game another go because I really am enjoying it. And shut down a lot of difficult with those tiles that keep disappearing on me for no reason. But that's a challenge I will work at once I get there. Yeah, here we go again. I don't really need to go with that guy, so I should get the rat. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like it's gonna. Oh, baby. It's so much fun when I get it. But probably the last long ago. Near to telephone. Gasham. Interesting. Seems to be lava this time. Oops. I thought I was in the safe spot for some reason. I'm in the ground and really seems to go much. Oh no, not this thing again. Every time. Oh no, I should close the lava. Yeah, I'm not using it. Here's another link to fight. Another link to fight. Let's pick up it. Tripping. I might have to never show. Not sure about it, but sometime it doesn't. Close again. Oh, I got the key this time. And now then get through and everything. Okay. Okay, look at the moment when I'll tell you. I'll be about before it gets you difficulty. Not sure exactly what to go. Should I jump and run for it? I'm not really sure. I'm going to prepare my step a little bit more basically, just to make sure I actually make it. Ah, here we go. Nope. I was thinking you're gonna be like the first level where if you actually jump on shot, it appears that maybe I have to jump on the first one and then make a run for it. No. I will try that this time. I will jump and make a run for it. Oh gosh. Oh. Thinking of the bird actually flies around a little bit around me, so might be a little bit. How do I go? I've been about. I'm being still. And I'll be back to where you did. I wish I did anything. Oh yeah, I've played the new thing and doing. It's a fun game. I like it. I don't know if I love it though, because there are a lot of other platform games that I absolutely love playing. Obviously there are some games that are really things that platformers should mean that Lionheart and Buffing Temple. But I still love the new thing and doing and but still play that one. Every now and then. Okay. Good night, baby Moody. Thank you for dropping by. I hope you have fun. You should have that include the animation. You just could. No. Thank you for the follow. There's Joe. Don't. My back that. This game. I think it actually came out a couple of years ago. I didn't realize how, yeah, so what? I lose track of time and I actually don't keep track of time, so it's actually hard for me to remember sometimes when a game came out. So I could be wrong. I've been a bit more hot. Like that. I feel like if I miss that tile fully, then I'll miss my share. So, yeah. Yeah, this game made with the open engine. I love this game so far because it's really impressive. I'm just a little bit confused about what to do here. But if I can work it out, then yeah, this game is fantastic. No, it fell down. I swear I thought a second tire one time. It's quite a challenging game. I mean, it's actually kind of taking the enemy with the bird. But it's doable, it's totally playable. It's just so damn tired, I want to go, Okay. I don't know. That little, that's pretty annoying. Yeah, I'm gonna find something else now, I think, because much as I like this game, I'm just gonna have to watch some of those play, because I don't know how to get past that beat. And, how did? Oh, it depends on the game, doesn't it? I have no idea. Just figuring out what team to quit. I'm just gonna reboot. No, and I should twist back here while rebooting. I play a different game and then No, that's not bad. Have you been interested in oh, no, I forgot to press play. Here you go. I hope that's lag or not. Oh, not sure that. I would like to look more into the opinionation. It seems that the kind of game that people are making with them, and I've seen some fantastic games made with the opinionation, and I'm really impressed by it. I would like to work out how to make a game with open. I thought it could be so much fun, and obviously being a lot more capable than that bone which I'm using to make games with at the moment, because I'm not really, even though I can program in Amiga E, I'm not really very good at games, and I mean game development, or playing games. I'm not really good at it, but I do love games, and I would love to make a game with open engine. Yeah, I have plenty of ideas for games that I can work on, so it would be really good to try that. And yeah. I feel game programming is that I think it takes a special kind of talent to do that, because I don't feel that I have that kind of talent. I've made some little pieces of software, and I think they're kind of okay, but thank you so much for the photos. Alan, 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 Gaming Network, thank you so much for the follow. Nah, I've been making games with Backbone because it has a GUI, so I can just make games no clicking, and then without knowing how to code. And even though Backbone is there become unlimited, it actually really taught me a lot about game design, things like that. So I actually find Backbone very helpful. But I would like to learn how to program my own game someday. So someday I will. Well, okay. I have started making a tech adventure game in Amiga E, and I would say it's 19% finished. I started making it years ago with the help of another coder, and he was able to teach me all about object orientation programming, which is still something I am not very good at. But it's really useful if you want to make games like Tech Division. And I also want to make strategy games this way in the future, so I think it'll be fun. And the more that you practice, the better you do get at some stuff. Yeah, so I think that Amiga could probably big enough by now. Not reading the Amiga program. I'm also showing the code for an intuition program. So I think it's a little bit bigger. The program that I've been working on for a very long time. Not really that many lines of code, but it didn't amazing that I haven't wanted to show anyone. But the program that the code actually ended up running, it did of course better running it is the proper stream program. You can run other applications provided they're able to use that stream I think I've got Replat. Even take up to new thing. Hopefully. Not okay. I'm just gonna load up it taking with MUI so that I can jump to that string and show you we can do that. And probably why I think I'm good because part of the reason why I made this program was to the Replat on public stream program. The main part of the program actually it uses a lot distinct color palette. And you go online, you can have a web browser in the different stream. So you can twist it back and forth a lot easier. It's not much of a program. But it's a little something I'm working on. So so grateful that Samurai Crow was able to give me all the programming help about everything that I needed. I was just so new to programming and without any help I wasn't able to get anywhere without the help of my friend. So I'm so grateful for that. I had it but I thought that recommend. No, I'm going pretty bad, thank you. And how are you going? I'm just well, earlier I was playing a Amiga game. Then that's actually a good idea. I think copying over more didn't I? I did. I should probably talk. I'm not really sure. That sort of thing. I'm not gonna be back here because I don't have any headphones or anything. So I really don't. Okay. Back to up. Hopefully it go up. Hey, call the electric bump. Maybe it's actually one of my favorite composers. His name is Mobile these days. Yeah. Sometimes I wish I could actually hear the movie as well. It would be fun. I'm normally listening to what I'm on Amiga because I love listening to music on my Amiga. Somehow there's something really awesome about Amiga music. I don't know what it is, but oh, okay. Let's see if I'm loud and clear enough. Oh, right, yeah. Maybe if I put my microphone back a bit. I'm not sure exactly where my microphone is actually meant to be picking up my voice. I'm sorry about that. That's the only guide I've got. So hopefully doubling difficult because that's the one about little big microphone. A little critical one that I've read the movie and I thought it was going to be a good one. And it's small and fit in my deck and everything. It does not fit on the boom that I've got. So I need to get a completely different one, and I don't want to because I've only got this one. Oh, I should do it. I'm gonna need my light and be. They're big boring birds. They're coming. I'm just testing out my ordinary level at the moment. Is it gonna be worth if I'm holding it? Isn't it supposed to be not perfectly still? I don't know anything about microphone. Oh, the closest to my face the bigger. Right, I'm gonna have to find some way of I don't know, elevating it so I can have it a lot closer to my face. Greetings to my trailer show. Welcome in. I'm just wondering if I've got anything I can put up here to that's what I thought. I didn't know you'd be able to hear me holding it. I don't know. But anyway, if I talk a little bit closer here, maybe if I move everything a little bit more. There, how is that? It's about as close to me as I can get. Yeah, let's start. Am I still able to hear me over the music? That's great. I love routine as well. I actually love all the music from them. Something about the music in that game. I should do so. I'm thinking you should send me a demo of no game for me to try out. But I'm still looking for another Amiga code. Well, obviously I don't want no game to be abandoned, so yeah, sure, send me a demo if you can. I can help find another Amiga code. Let's actually cross the Amiga code that I know that maybe I can put you in touch with them. I might be interested in helping you with the game. Then I might be a little bit you know what? I'll get in touch with you after the training and I'll contact you on Discord on you. No on Discord, yeah. I'm on Discord. I will find you on Discord for the training and on Amiga Discord. Okay, no problem. That will make it a lot easier. You can add me, send me a message and we'll talk about it because I don't want you to I don't want that game to be abandoned. We'll go to that and I love to play it. What kind of game is it? Is there any more you can tell us about the game? It's actually shame. Okay, no problem. Yeah. Go ahead and join that. Now make it a lot easier. And like I said, there's some other aim at code. So I'll contact them if we're going to talk about that. That'll be good. Yeah. Oh, the good shot. Oh, no, I hope you got everything's okay with the audio. Then I don't need to keep playing the music. I mean, it's probably. I'll look for a game there. In the meantime, just put it up here. I need that. No, I haven't tried either of those games yet. I am in the mood for a shoot 'em up, so I really good that one ago. But I quit Ego play it because yeah, probably gonna need that audio. Yeah. Thank you so much for the follow, PK, Daniel, Dropping Burton. Welcome in. If I could find a new shoot 'em up. It's gonna be challenging because I'm not really that good at shoot 'em up. The back plate 15 frames per second arcade game. It's called how about the Harry? Oh, okay. Well, that sounds fun. 15 frames per second. Oh, that's really impressive. I don't know, it's a bit of a challenge to get with Amiga. But cool. That sounds like an impressive kind of game. Alright. Higher booster. Oh, higher booster. Higher booster. Higher booster. Hi, Patrick. Welcome in. The bacon. Oh, of course. Oh, wonderful. So, is the main character bird then? The bacon? That'll be fun. Oh, okay, that's lovely. Okay, I know that looks like they are beautiful. You had an Amiga and you don't remember intuition. Operating system being so good. an emulator for a new operating system on top of iteration. This is the iteration. Oh, that iteration is the thing color. No, I don't mind who wanna keep talking about her game that way. I love playing a game then. You've got my dream though about playing a game, playing Amiga game. Although I'm gonna play games to other platforms, but Amiga games is probably gonna be my focus. On the new thing Amiga 500. I should tell you that. I think that means I can film money to me, so I could actually have my own PC now. That mini, and I think it's awesome. But then I think some integration, it all should it's not anything new. Having the Amiga 500 and you wish you had the Amiga 1000 with the extra RAM. With the extra RAM totally, I would want that shoe. Yeah, the one when you roll up, explains it much bigger than I could have. That is very bigger. Yeah. I like bait combat game. You recommend I wrote. It's not that real, knowing that real Amiga, but you liked it. Yeah, I do like bait combat game, although I'm not very good at them. I'm actually not very good. But I will goodbye a go because I think I'm fun. Yeah. What I love about my Amiga take up a machine going too much to the way that I like it. Every now and then I like to change the wallpaper. But yeah, you can see my icon down in there. And I just love it, the way they all look. With we've been shoot out in there. The lumen. And that's it. Use not my Amiga, it's like not critically customized. Yeah, it's really good to have that extra fast RAM. I love it. It's been where most of the time, most of my fast RAM is actually used up. When I really much emission needed to that. Most of the time you should getting wallpaper and stuff on my Amiga. I have to admit that the first thing I do every time I've got on a new computer. Okay, she's gone. Every time I've got on a new computer, I change the wallpaper on it if I could immediately. So yeah, I'm still not that about this wallpaper, so I'll probably end up changing it at some point, probably in the next stream. But I think the 16 color is pretty good, so for now I think it's fine. But I would like to customize my interface and make it feel more like my own computer, mine. And the Amiga is just so perfect for that. You can't do that with the Mac so much. If anyone ever needs a classic Mac, you know how you should actually cut the Mac, other than the wallpaper and the folder black and color. You can't really go much with it. But with the Amiga, I can make my own icon. I can like download a picture from the internet restart the mapper that and then it's not it's just so much nicer with the Amiga. No, it's hard by great bench without I love it because this way I get to see what up the currently running. Oh. I probably need to dig up a bit more. I don't know how I'm digging on a plastic through at the moment, so it's a little bit uncomfortable here, but oh, there's the night. No, come on. Hi there. There's no everything thing. Oh, come on. And oh, now my favorite marketplace. I think it's been one of my absolute favorite markets of all time. There's just something about this one that I found really pleasing. Is it a regular time for my stream? No. I actually stream mostly at random time. Today is actually the first day that I thought, okay, I'm going to start streaming a lot earlier. Some of my friends have said they're not able to catch me. And I said, well, I can always try streaming a little bit earlier. And so I did spend all morning getting ready for a stream. I did start a lot later than I would have. Normally though, I'm starting a stream around 5 o'clock is actually when the sun starts going down. And the thing in my bedroom, the problem where I've got my whole streaming stick up, is that the sun is always in my eyes during the day, and it just shines right in my eyes. It just makes everything super bright and I can't see anything. And when that happens, it's obviously so hard to stream. But today, there was actually some cloud coverage, and I thought, well, I've got a bigger chance of starting my stream earlier than I normally would. But normally I'm starting about now because that's when the sun finally goes away and I can, you know, see what I'm going a lot bigger. You have an Amiga 1200 OCO 50 with the innovation. You really should look at this voice-based improvement. Oh, you're so lucky. If you've got the innovation, then you've got the same mode. You've got 1218 by 720. You've got the really super awesome high resolution motion, and that is gonna be awesome. And changing the entire workbench when you're able to fit so much more on it. I need to have that back to go my innovation. It wasn't compatible so much with my Lisa. It didn't want to stay on. And truthfully one day it should sort of pop up and you didn't want to go back on, and I couldn't use the innovation again after that, which is why I was just so disappointed that with my Amiga I've got everything except the innovation, which is a little bit of a shame. I mean, I've still got the screensaver going. Oh, it's a screensaver. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Demo, it is demo. I can never get those right. Demo 87. Oh, no, I have it on a thorough battery. No. I have my workbench in a wide resolution mode. So, the game is a little second. Actually, that's why I actually ended up having a couple of different Amiga to the game. I had one more for game development taking. I left that one back in storage, so I don't have it with me. But the one I'm using right now is the one that I'm used to through my coding and stuff. My friend who also made it, he made it Warcraft pointer for me. I love Warcraft too, and I was now playing it all the time. My friend made it a compliment and pointer, so it was really cool. And the cool thing is because it's in America, the pointer don't use any color, so it's really cool. Yeah, she looks pretty not. Oh, hi there! I'm not really sure how to pronounce the name, Sean. I'm good. I'm going there, thinking. It's fine. I'm going down, so I have a chance to see where I'm going a lot bigger. You love. I'm going down there now. That everything's a bit weird now. It's been a while since you did anything on it. Oh, you've been looking to. Oh, yeah, well, it's gonna. Have you got Amiga over 3.2? I've got 3.2 and I'm getting that installed on a different card, and eventually I'm gonna be putting that one into my Amiga with the new black cake that I've got and the bath and everything. And it's gonna look so cool. I can't wait to show you that right now. Got that going. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Barrett, Pat me fishing. Oh, hi there, Mr. Shay Klein. Welcome in. Oh, that's okay. I'm Barish. Oh, Barish. Is that right? Barish. I'm thinking my Amiga 1200 and audio 50 megahertz. Yeah, and it's really lovely Amiga. Yeah, don't have my other camera plugged in, so I can't show you my Amiga. But this is my very base to the lovely edition. The game launches in range once you start. Look, I haven't really experienced that problem because I think I've got an OCO and it makes me play the game right now. Here we go. I don't know if the game works. I've shut installed it. So bring the coffee over. Oh! I think I'm gonna change to close it. I don't really want anything to interfere, so is it gonna take over the system and then not worry about Amiga player? I don't know. You know what, I'm just gonna reboot because I don't want anything to interfere with the game. I have to go back to first screen for a minute. Yeah, but make sure I go back and die again. And make sure. I just want to reboot, I go back to it and try again. thank you so much for the follow. Hip, 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 hip. Mother, welcome to tell me how to pronounce your name because I'm so bad at pronouncing people's names. It's basically a name that brings news to me. And thank you so much for the follow, Lovejoy. Okay, thank you so much, Lovejoy. 5,001. It looks like another 1,400 followers. And thank you so much for following me. I haven't only been going so far this when played Maria Revenge. I have to stop with that name. Oh, okay. I have trouble pronouncing things because I'm deaf. I have hearing aid, so if I mispronounce something or whatever, you're more than welcome to correct me because part of the reason why I'm streaming is so that I can practice my speech and get better at it. And yeah, I'm still not that good at it. It's really hard for me to I think I should need more practice. My problem. Amiga is literally the best computer and she's absolutely deserves to be kept alive. And really, it's really the amazing community of fans and everyone that is the art keeping the Amiga alive. Yeah. So, yeah. Actually, you know what, I might need to take a quick break. I've had a lot of liquid, so I'll be right back. remember what now mate no Amiga calling the community okay but you find now she not Griffin. God, think about the Amiga community is that I'll be part of it if not that. In my way, I think that's what all of us together. But then I think that that's a big community out there. There's actually a lot of people out there developing games. Believe it or not. If you look on eShop and you look at Amiga, Amiga, you actually find a lot of Amiga games, a lot of homebrew games, mostly games that have come out in the last 10 years. There's the occasional developer think that the game that I made near to go but never had a chance to bring it up. So the homebrew Amiga community has been fantastic. There's a lot of new games, there's a lot of new software, bad software, and a lot of new applications. Some of the new applications that people are still working on developing, and so much new hardware, and the amount of new hardware for the Amiga these days is unbelievable. It's really like I can't even begin to think all the options you have now for Amiga. You have so many options now. That is unbelievable. So many new games being developed for the Amiga. The community is so enthusiastic. People genuinely love the Amiga and want to keep making games for it. And particularly, I found it lots of fun to make games on the Amiga. It's not fun to make games on other systems somehow. And I've actually tried on the Mac. I've tried I think we call it word construction that word construction builder. It is a program that allows you to make your own I don't know, describing a dancing crawling innovation. And it wasn't what I expected it to be, and it wasn't easy and it wasn't fun. But when I started making games in the Amiga, it was so much fun, and with the Amiga it's multitasking, so there's so much that I could do at the same time, which is something that I actually kind of prefer going. I kind of like it more when I can do one thing on my Amiga but do something else in the background, and while that thing's running something else, and it goes on and on. And continue to moving at the same time while coding something, while just browsing a magazine. Sometimes I like to read magazine on my Amiga. This magazine, and there's a new magazine for the Amiga called What Is Magazine. And this magazine you can read just in the Amiga guide to read this magazine. Just that a program that uses Amiga guide files as well. So that's the only name for the new Amiga. And I think I've got more to read. They're looking forward to getting the Amiga soon, hopefully soon. It'll be so much fun. It's gonna be so much fun having a real Amiga. To me, there's nothing like it. I actually don't like emulation that much. I actually prefer the real thing. For me, the Amiga actually comes within anything like. So I can see what's happening in my Amiga. I can walk away and come back and thing, if something's happening with my Amiga, if it's so good, I love that. And it's so good, my Amiga thing, go over and twist it up, and it's just so easy. And someday I'll show you guys, but I've got this really cool power supply in it. I got this one from a friend in America, called Making. He made this really awesome power supply years ago. They're black and they're really small, it's about this big. But the coolest thing is it has a lot. So I know when my Amiga does switch on, even if there's something else is covering up my LED, it does glow on restore. I'm like, oh, my Amiga's still on. I gotta turn it up. The bit about being out with one of the work that I'll go on near where I live, and it's just so beautiful and relaxing. I thought it would make a good video to show you guys how nice and relaxing they should in Tasmania. Oh, hi there, 1, 2, 3, ABC. I'm sorry if I didn't think. I'm sorry I didn't think, but you know I'm just catching up with the chat. Hi there, Raven. Thank you so much for the follow. I'm sorry I didn't think it. I'm still catching up with everything. I think I missed a couple of follows actually. Thank you so much. For Martin, and thank you so much for Rahini. Let me feel the follow. The time fashion, the BR back thing, the painting moving down by so comfy. That's his name on Twitch. Proton, he does that great music in actually working on it on community control of the kart racing game. And he's just so talented. He basically also worked on this demo that was released through revision recently. Like I said, he's unbelievably talented, and he did a piece of music so very crap. It's so unbelievably good that it was not new in the program, and there is a program. The game did come out. The piece of music and basically was not new in the program, but it was just so good that I thought it was just so good not to share with you guys. If you wasn't further community for you will be a programmer today. That's so amazing. That's so good. I love that. There's something about having a computer. Learning how to code on the Amiga. This has been one of the most rewarding experiences in my whole life, because I never really accomplished anything like that before. Actually making my own app, my own software. It's just so, it's done. I don't know how to describe it. But I hope you does. There's nothing that needing a thing, believe me. And that actually mostly I think because of the way game, the way pixel art was done on the Amiga back in the 80s. These days, I don't know if it's that much of an issue. You don't really get that feeling and stuff. But there is something much nicer. Maybe because my eyes don't hurt as much. There's something I don't know, but there's something nice that about playing a game on a real the thing. And so that I'm kind of that. Obviously, I don't have a thing because my grandpa the way that them would be I have a very bush up here that holding up my mum and her, my dog, my coming big up, a couple other things that nine case. Yeah, damn it, right, and let down the Maya, but in the background. I have it hoping that my light, have a little bit more hot. The, yeah. I probably need to go feed them at some point. I'm thinking someone for the follow back from the hand. I hope I did that right. And then someone that's right. Thank you so much for the follow the hand vote. Man. Then Pat, then Brisbane is right. No, I love the Amiga. I love the floppy thing. Though you know what, my floppy drive's not working. I don't know what's wrong with it. I'm gonna have to get that looked at or fix it something sometime. I've actually tried cleaning it and everything, and I think I should find a thing that probably need to get properly fixed. But you know what, I will get it all looked at when I get my motherboard looked at. I really want to try and get my Amiga thing done for repair because I think it's about time that she, had them hair taken of her. Right there, Proton. Come on. I'm sorry, I'm just catching up with the shot. No, I might be a little slow here. They're catching up. I'm so sorry about missing anything new. I think I'm almost there though. I'm gonna dig around in the basement and look at. You believe you have some amenities down there too? Well, have a look. Depending on where you are. Depending the condition of them. I mean, that, when you see it in a trailer, the flopping thing from that trying to mode and things like that. So it's probably best, you might want to have a look at them sooner than later. Just because, yeah. That might be good, you never know, it depends on the condition then. I mean, some people have actually, some people left them Amiga stuff with me, and some of them they're good, and some of them are still working, and I've actually taken over in a few of them. But again, I think it depends on the condition. If you have them about all that deal to something really, they're probably bound soon. Yeah, should have a look at it. If you look clean, if not, then maybe you can do that. I don't know, Aqua or I'm not sure what they should do on them. I actually got one of those cleaning it, so I could put in my whole floppy drive to clean it there out. There might be something like that for actually cleaning the them depth. But I will go wrong picking anything bad in their makeup. And yeah, probably required a bit of cleaning again, I think. It don't take a while. They're catching up though, no, I can't draw. I mean, I can draw. I don't really know how to describe my drawing. It's like, yeah, no, I'm not drawing. No, I'm not good at that. Then I'm thinking about doing that, watching Amiga Bill. And one of my favorite pictures for him to watch, and you guys can see that. Amiga Bill. One of my favorite things. Probably my favorite, but I don't know, I don't like to have favorite. That's a good thing, but generally love the Amiga. I don't know what, so much bigger at playing all these Amiga games that are so good at them. They're catching up, I'm not sure what's going on. I'm just trying to follow back up. I think that 5 minutes talking and then forgot I'm supposed to be catching up. I love Brisbane. I miss Brisbane sometimes. There were certain places in Brisbane I love going to. I love going to Netherworld in Brisbane. That was such an awesome place. The food there was incredible. And you could play arcade games there, and pinball machines, and you could play on the Ocean consoles and stuff. But mainly it was really cool that I had a whole row of arcade cabinets, and then pinball machines and stuff. It was awesome. And I had the latest pinball machine. It was awesome. So much fun. I miss that place sometimes. I'm almost there, I think. I think I'm feeling cool at that. Thank you so much for the follow. Tiffin? Is it Tiffin? It's Tiffin or Tiffin? I don't know. Okay. And you played the combat in there. You should ask everything. That's a fun place to hang out. We can play ball games there. I've got to say that. So cool. William from Scotland. Recommend. And it's about nice time here in Australia not. And you're visiting from New Zealand. All the way from New Zealand for that. That's good. That's awesome. Look at him really quick. You can have a good time there. I love my British in Netherworld. They should this is the one place in Brisbane that they're guaranteeing a good time. You can play on the arcade machine and on the bar as well. Then you get the drink there. And yeah. That's awesome. That's the mini backup. Right. That's the. Good. My meat going back in the plate. Thank God I'm 30 finally. Bitch. No. No. We need to go back with that. Goodness me, you know what? I should do that. I'm meant to be playing a game. They shoot 'em up and I should but I'm meant to be playing a shoot 'em up. I should probably twist back to that now. Welcome back, Reunited. Guess you haven't been thinking enough. I think I've been thinking a little bit. You wanna know Dark Code Beta? I actually thought that game being played on Ryan Time, but I've actually played that one myself. But I think I thought that one playing on Dream and I can't remember who that was. I thought that one playing it. You know that interesting? That interesting point because I actually do have them all mapped, but I think I probably got them back in storage, so I could probably check out those and see what they look like. Because my mind has been kind of interesting, I've been hanging. I don't know if I like it. I definitely know that I like Ryan from start to trailer. From start to trailer is definitely very good. But Tasmanian Ryan, I'm still not sure. I'm sometimes I don't know them. That kind of familiar, but I've been on that know band too. I'm pretty sure that's the band because I know Clark and Hart sound really familiar like a band. But again, that sounds like a band name. That doesn't. No, that's gonna be a band. So the New Zealand band, that's really cool. I didn't know that. I didn't really know a band or anything or where they're from and all that stuff. But then actually, then unknown fans. Wow, that's getting cool, like they made all the way to fans, so. And then the only New Zealand band that I know what will actually know. I don't know if it's a band, but Blast of the Concord, that's the only New Zealand movie band I've got. It's not really a movie band, it's actually a TV show. But that's the only movie because I know halfway through that there's a whole movie song thing. Then I have to go then later Mr. J Kwan. Oh, it's almost 1 o'clock in California. Oh wow, no problem. And the thing is basically, I was try and win a lot let's dream. It's like anything there, but it's very my parrot. It's funny because I actually didn't meet my parrot, but and it was a really weird thing that I did a sign language content. Then I would I got through like a 5:30 or something. I can't remember exactly how old. I did a sign language content with Rob Harris. Done that all the time that he did, you know, that timing down, can you move sport, it's very classic in sign language on stage, and it was just doing this thing I've ever done when I was go up there on stage, and I had to sing a song in sign language in front of that 500 people or something, like behold people, and yeah, I think I record because you know the whole song is sign language. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you, Gina. Thank you so much for the follow. I don't actually know any Australian band. I know Australian performance, but I don't know Australian band so much. Midnight Oil, I've heard of them. That band I've heard of. Cat in Power. I don't usually think of a cat. I think that the name don't sound good. Me calculator. Childhood. Oh, I think. Oh, that's one I could know. I could know that one too. Yeah. So then it's silent. I didn't realize that. Yeah. I don't really know bands are not really something I actually prefer listening to Amiga more music and now listening to John Williams. Anything Star Wars that John Williams does is that it's beautiful. Yep, I pretty much have to drop John Williams, that's beautiful music. Actually, one of my favorite tracks of John Williams is actually Darth Vader's theme. That's my favorite. And then there's the band, the Cantina band. And what's another one that I really like? Sure for Fight is awesome. I love that one. It's just somehow so epic. I did that really like what John Williams is going for. That whole epic rap. Across the dark. That is just so beautiful. Again, so beautiful shit like John Williams did that beautiful music. And I love Amiga more music, of course. I might start a little bit weird, but my hearing aid now the way 30 music down Those meeting that's not done good to my hearing aid and everything think that should that I don't want to hear it. So that I don't know who that is. I don't know anything bad about it, but I really would like to find out more about Australian band. It's not that good. Although, you know, like I said, I like Australian I don't know anything about that. It's not really not. Oh no, I don't know band, but I do know musician. Yeah, I know things from Melbourne. Think I'm the name. When it comes to music, I don't know anything about that. I'm just trying to become other companies using that actually good a lot. And because like I said, yeah, I don't really enjoy music that much because I don't know what they're saying and everything. Sometimes they're cool when I know what the lyrics are. They are awesome. So once I know what the lyrics are, up to the after. Oh, now I'm gonna switch. I'm not actually not done. I could find there's done interesting if they have lyrics that are very positive and very motivational, and I feel like they none of the uplifting is done right. You know, that don't that bums me out. I don't feel like I need to listen to them as much. Don't that somehow I feel like I have an underlying tone. Somehow I can dance it and I feel kind of sad and I feel like I don't know why I'm with that, and it turns out the music that's playing. I feel like it should go something about music that's a little bit strange. I don't know how it works, but it's a little bit strange. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. That crap. I'm sorry I'm a little bit low. I'm still catching up in the chat. We're talking about songs and stuff like that, which I don't actually know anything about. But I do like you as long as they're positive, if they're uplifting in some way, and if they like motivating. I feel like that's the best thing a song can do. It's been about the positive, you know, good, positive, good. I don't know how to describe, but yeah. I think everyone wants to feel happy. So if you listen to a song that makes me feel happy, and feel happy, I feel like that's the best thing that the song is done, yeah. Oh, there's a song there. Don't know it also highly art person that they really depend on the person. Sometimes I feel like it don't make sense. a nice new authentically experience what the person thing that done had experienced. I think I'm relaxed back on what I'm gonna say. I'm probably gonna have to go back to playing again because I've got to to go in I let my amigo know that um um alright, here you go. I remember now I had to reboot because I had Eagle play and I didn't want anything to interfere. I want the very best experience when I play a new game for the first time. Well, I'm speaking English. At least I thought I was speaking English. It might be super missionary, I don't know. But I'm deaf, so my voice is going to sound probably weird soon. Anyone who's not used to it. It's probably a little bit easier to understand me once I'm playing the game and you get the context of what I'm talking about. Because earlier I was rolling up to cash up with the shop. And I think that's where the confusion mark has been. I think I'm gonna play it on easy because let's be perfectly honest, I am just not gonna shoot him up. So I think I'm just gonna do it. And hope everything goes alright here. And almost immediately okay. I'm playing and that's it. Okay. I'm gonna go to the game and I'm gonna pay 100% attention. Oh no. Oh okay. Yeah. It's in a meeting up. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Sorry again. That was awesome find out. When I go up and take a lot of concentration. After the going up in the tongue, it's talk of game. Oh, ah! Ah! In the quad. Ah! No, 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 it's my fault. I hit the wrong thing. I fixed it. Sorry. No, it's my fault. I hit the wrong thing. Yeah. I was trying to move the wrong thing. I fixed it now. I think Amiga Bird is even bigger than me at the game. Because it got way further than I did. And if I can concentrate, then maybe I can make it do it. Yeah. Okay. Looking for a good power up here. But that's flipping. Oh my god, that's my time. Dang it. I was going to last so fast. I was trying to turn off the desktop earlier. It might have already been up, I don't know. I was trying to go in the middle of the game where I probably should have. Let's try again. I was really, really, really good at that. It's a bit harder. Come on. Come on, you that. Don't have to keep track of it. Put it in the power up. Gosh. I can't think of one. Really good. Nice in the rock. Nice in the rock. Really nice looking. Really nice looking. No. Can play. Not bad. Right. I'm gonna try again. But really, nice new thing. So then ang daming dinili. Ang mahimay difficult na. No. Don't make it, never mind. I'll do it. I think it's going to be I got them big now. The pingo power up, but I'm really gonna concentrate and oh no, I got downgraded. Oh no. I took on my shoe. Jumped over it. Right, I need to take a quick break. I'll be right back. I'm back. Oh, I want to go to gonna then I'm not gonna fascinated united. Enjoy. Then I forgot to be changed the game title. Ah. No wait, that's wrong, isn't it? That's right. Oh, that's right. I actually love it. This is really cool. It's the way you look and everything. That she's traveling a heartbeat or whatever it is. Another terminology. Then I give it another go. And the 13th time, have a little bit more quick, and then I have another go of the game. I find how some of these games that are like really frustrating to play, that they're hard to play, but they also the kind of game that you have to keep going back to play because they're so, yeah. I'm gonna vote. Go. So, here you go again. Oh, yeah, I forgot, I got fine plastic this time. I'm away, I got back to, pressing my phone in, and now I can hopefully show my Amiga if it's pointing at the right direction. Maybe I can finally show what my Amiga looks like. Oh, what happens in my game? I think I was making one. Where I have to paint on which one you made because yeah, I start making a game and I don't actually finish it. And I could know that I could need to work on that, actually finishing one of them. Who did that? I'm not really sure which one that would be. Was that one with the main character with the wish? Because if so, that would be Halloween Nightmare, and that's actually a demo. I actually finished the whole demo in under like a month or something. What's another one? Yeah, there was another one I was working on. Wish. Yeah, I also started working on another Christmas one last year. With the last minute thing. Christmas was coming, and I thought, well, maybe I could make a Christmas game. That I make a Christmas platform game in time and release it in time for Christmas. It didn't work out that way. I did not end up getting to release it in time for Christmas. Not the whole game, not the way that I hoped it would be, because I had so much more planned, but you know, again I left it in the last minute. But this time I think I've got a little bit more time, and maybe at that point I might even be not me working on the game. The Amiga can, but the the I'm just trying to go to